Ever noticed how the smallest things can hijack your peace? A careless comment, a cold glance, a clumsy action from someone who probably didn't even think twice, yet it lingers in your mind all day. You tell yourself, it's not worth it. But your body betrays you, your chest tightens, your jaw locks, anger rises. The sad truth? The culprit rarely even knows they stole your calm. The ancients said, no one can hurt you unless you allow it. Yet most of us hand over that power too easily, just because of a few foolish actions or meaningless words. Today, we're going to build new armor not to avoid attacks, but to remain unshaken when they arrive. Lesson 1. Recognize the pattern of anger before it takes control. Anger almost never erupts out of nowhere. It's rarely a lightning strike, it's more like a pot of water left on a low flame. Slowly, quietly, it heats up. You don't notice the steam at first, and then one single drop pushes it over the edge. The real problem? Most men don't see the build-up. You think you're angry because of this one moment, but in truth, it started long before. In the morning, you're frustrated because traffic was a mess. At work, your boss drops an urgent task on your desk at the worst possible time. By lunchtime, you're already irritated because a key email is taking too long to arrive. Then, late in the afternoon, a colleague makes a thoughtless comment. You tell yourself, I'm fine, I can handle it. But what you're really doing is storing pressure. And the longer you store it, the smaller the spark needed to ignite an explosion. Eventually, something trivial, a misplaced file, a driver cutting you off, a joke taken the wrong way becomes the final drop that spills everything over. The Stoic solution? Awareness before eruption. The ancient Stoics understood that emotions aren't random, they're rehearsed. Every time you let a small irritation slide without addressing it, you practice a pattern. Frustration to silence, to more frustration, to outburst, to regret. And that cycle will keep repeating until you name it, track it, and break it. Here's a simple yet powerful exercise. Keep a trigger journal. Every night, before you go to bed, spend just 5 minutes writing down 3 situations from your day that caused you irritation or tension. No long essays, just bullet points. Do this for 1 week. At the end of the week, read through your entries. You'll begin to notice patterns, specific situations, people, times of day, or tones of voice that consistently get under your skin. Once you recognize these recurring triggers, you can prepare for them. You can walk into those situations armed with awareness instead of being blindsided. Think of it like a military commander scouting the battlefield before a fight. When you know where the ambushes are, you can avoid them or at least face them on your terms. Because the truth is, the moment you see the pattern, you're no longer a victim of it. You're in control. And that's the first real step toward mastering your emotions. Lesson 2. Understand what you're really angry about. You think you're angry because your coffee spilled, because your coworker forgot to send the report, because the person in front of you is walking too slowly. But those are not the real reasons. Those are just the fuses, the matchsticks, the small sparks that ignite something much deeper. The truth is, what you're really angry about might be a feeling of disrespect, a loss of control over your own life, financial pressure that's been eating away at you, or exhaustion that's been silently stacking up for weeks. The ancient Stoics had a powerful insight. Emotions are not your enemy, but if left unchecked, they become deceivers. Anger often shows up wearing the wrong name tag. You think it's about the moment in front of you, but more often, it's the accumulation of hidden frustrations that have nothing to do with the immediate situation. So the next time anger rises, pause and ask yourself, is this truly the cause, or am I unloading other pressures onto this moment? Consider this example. A father comes home after a long, grueling day. The traffic was terrible. His boss piled on more work. His mind is buzzing with deadlines and bills. He walks in, and his child accidentally spills a glass of milk. He explodes. But here's the reality: he isn't really angry about the milk. He's angry about the stress at work, the feeling that he's carrying the weight of the world alone, the sense that no one sees how much he's doing just to keep everything afloat. That's the trap. When we don't identify the real cause, we misdirect our anger at the easiest target, the one standing right in front of us. The Stoic path demands a different response. It asks you to investigate your own mind like a detective, to strip away the layers until you reach the core. Because once you uncover the true source, something remarkable happens. Your reaction changes. You stop being jerked around by every small inconvenience. You no longer hand over control to random events or careless people. And here's the real victory. When you name the root cause, you turn anger from a weapon that harms you into a message that helps you. It's no longer a blind force, it becomes a guide, pointing you to where your life needs attention. Lesson 3. Stop taking things personally. Here's a hard truth. 80% of the things that upset you were never even about you. That email your boss sent without a greeting, he's drowning in deadlines. The silent treatment from your spouse, she's processing her own storm. The driver who cut you off, he didn't even see you. And yet, we turn these moments into personal attacks. We tell ourselves, they disrespected me, or they must think I'm worthless. But most of the time, what you're feeling is not the reality, it's your own interpretation. When you make everything about you, you sell your peace for cheap. That's not strength, that's emotional slavery. It's like walking around with open wounds and then blaming the world for brushing past you. The Stoics had a word for the opposite of this weakness, apatheia. Not numbness, not indifference, but unshakable calm in the face of things you can't control. They understood that most of life's slights are nothing more than the echoes of other people's struggles, fears, and frustrations. So here's the shift. Stop interpreting everything through the lens of offense. When someone speaks to you with a sharp tone, ask yourself, does this really have anything to do with me? Or is this about where they are in life right now? More often than not, it's the latter. And when you see it clearly, the sting disappears. Think of a boulder in the middle of a rushing river. The water crashes against it all day, but the rock remains unmoved. That's the man who no longer takes things personally. He doesn't crumble when someone forgets to say hello. He doesn't rage when someone raises their voice. His identity isn't up for negotiation every time someone else is having a bad day. This doesn't mean you tolerate abuse. It means you choose your battles. You save your energy for the things that actually matter. Because the moment you stop taking everything as a personal insult, you stop giving strangers and circumstances free access to your peace. From that point on, your emotions answer to you, not to every careless word, every cold glance, or every petty action that comes your way. Lesson 4. Ask, will this matter in 5 days? Your mind is a master at exaggerating small problems when you're stressed. A delayed email suddenly feels like disrespect. A driver cutting in front of you becomes a declaration of war. A careless comment at dinner feels like a betrayal. But here's the truth, most of it won't matter in 5 days, let alone 5 years. When you're under pressure, your nervous system scans for threats, even when none exist. That's why a minor inconvenience can feel like a personal attack. The wrong look, the wrong tone, the wrong timing, and your mood shifts instantly. The Stoics understood that perspective is the antidote to impulsive emotion. That's why they trained themselves to zoom out to see the present moment in the context of their entire life. So here's your weapon. Before you react, ask yourself, will this matter in 5 days? Not 5 months, not 5 years, just 5 days. If the answer is no, it's not worth your energy. It's not worth the spike in blood pressure. It's not worth dragging into your next meeting or letting it poison your evening at home. The reality is, most of what we obsess over is mental clutter, a sarcastic remark from a coworker, a waiter who got your order wrong, a social media comment from a stranger. These things eat away at your mood only because you feed them with attention. But imagine this, you pause, you ask the question, and you realize this won't even cross your mind next week. The grip loosens instantly. You've just reclaimed hours of peace you would have otherwise thrown away. And when something will matter in 5 days, when it's a genuine problem, you face it with clarity instead of rage. You handle it like a leader, not a puppet pulled by emotion. This isn't about pretending problems don't exist. It's about choosing which ones deserve your fire. Because the man who burns over everything eventually burns out. But the man who knows when to let go walks through chaos untouched. So make this a habit. Next time you feel the heat rise, stop, breathe. Ask the question. If the answer is no, drop it. If the answer is yes, address it with calm precision. That single habit can turn you from a man who reacts to everything into a man who is unmoved by anything. Lesson 5. Pause before you react. Anger is rarely a choice, it's a reflex. One moment you're calm, the next you're snapping at your coworker, slamming the car door, or going silent on your partner because of something they said. That's not strength, that's surrender. The Stoics believed that true power lies in the gap, the space between stimulus and response. It's in that small moment where you can decide whether to act or to hold the line. Most men never install that gap. They're like faulty machines, trigger pulled, bullet fired. There's no filter, no delay, no conscious thought. And in that state, emotions run the show. You can't afford that. Not if you want to be respected, not if you want to lead, and certainly not if you want peace. The pause is your weapon. When someone disrespects you, when plans fall apart, when traffic grinds to a halt, your body will scream for action. Your pulse will rise, your jaw will tighten, your breath will shorten. That's your cue, not to attack, but to wait. Count to 3. Breathe deeply through your nose. Clench your fist if you have to, but keep your mouth shut. This isn't weakness, it's control. And control makes you dangerous in the best way possible. Because here's the truth, it's easy to yell, it's easy to slam doors, send angry texts, or post online rants. What's hard, what's rare, is to stay composed when every part of you wants to explode. Every time you hold back, you sharpen your discipline. You build an edge most men never develop. You start training your emotions to answer to you, instead of the other way around. Think of it like holding a loaded weapon. Anyone can fire in the heat of the moment, but the man who lowers the gun, assesses the situation, and only acts with precision, that's the man in control. The pause doesn't mean you ignore problems. It means you choose the right moment and the right way to deal with them. And that choice changes everything. So, make it a habit. When you feel that familiar surge of heat, freeze, don't react. Own the moment. Because once you master the pause, you stop being a slave to your impulses and start becoming the kind of man whose calm presence commands respect without a single word. Lesson 6. Set boundaries to prevent frustration. You're not angry because people are too much. You're angry because your boundaries are too vague. When you let anyone walk in and out of your emotional space without rules, don't be surprised when someone trashes it. Think about your time, your energy, your attention, 3 things you will never get back. How much of each is leaking away because you've never drawn a clear line? We often expect others to just know what's acceptable, but clarity isn't their job, it's yours. A man without boundaries is like a soldier without armor. He absorbs every blow, feels every jab, and eventually breaks. You say yes to work you hate. You tolerate disrespect at the dinner table. You pick up the phone at 1:0 p.m. for a client who's already crossed the line. Then you wonder why you explode over the little things. Here's the reality. Those little things are never little. They're the overflow of every moment you allowed your limits to be ignored. The Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius didn't waste his days chasing approval. Epictetus didn't allow insults to dictate his mood. They drew the line between themselves and the world, and they guarded it without apology. Boundaries aren't walls to keep people out, they're filters to protect your sanity. They tell the world, this is what I accept, This is what I do not. No drama, no debate, just discipline. Here's what that looks like in real life. At work, I can help with this tomorrow, but I won't stay late tonight. With friends, if you keep making jokes at my expense, I'm leaving the table. At home, I need 20 minutes to decompress before we talk. Short, clear, final. Every time you defend your boundaries, you reinforce your emotional strength. Every time you fail to enforce them, you invite frustration back in. Stop blaming others for stepping over lines you never drew. Don't wait for stupid behavior to magically stop. Stop tolerating it. Your peace is not someone else's responsibility. It's yours. And the man who guards his time, his energy, and his emotional space with discipline is the man who rarely needs to raise his voice. Lesson 7. Use humor as a pressure release valve. When you can laugh at stupidity, you've already won. Not because the situation magically improves, but because you have. Anger shrinks in the presence of humor. It's not about avoiding problems. It's about refusing to let them dominate your inner state. Most men walk through life like ticking bombs, one dumb comment, one ridiculous email, one clueless driver away from detonation. But the man who can smirk, shake his head, and keep walking, that's a man who is untouchable. This isn't about mocking people or using sarcasm as a weapon. That's just hostility in disguise. The kind of humor we're talking about is clean, strategic detachment, choosing to see the absurdity in the moment rather than getting dragged into its chaos. The Stoics mastered this. They didn't waste energy trying to fix every fool they met. They simply refused to become fools themselves. They understood the circus would always exist, but they chose not to be clowns in it. Think about it. The last time someone said something so absurd it made your blood boil, imagine watching it as a scene in a comedy sketch. Suddenly, you're not in the drama, you're in the audience. The tension dissolves. You see it for what it is, just noise. Humor is a release valve for pressure. Firefighters, soldiers, surgeons, men who operate in extreme conditions use humor not to downplay the danger, but to keep their minds clear when everything around them is heavy. It's a survival tool. You can use it the same way. Not every battle deserves your rage. Some deserve nothing more than a quiet grin and a mental note. Wow, that's their circus, not mine. And here's the beauty: when you respond with humor instead of hostility, you rob the other person of their control over you. They can't pull your strings if you're laughing. They can't bait you if you're already 3 steps ahead, seeing the bigger picture. So the next time you get one of those "you've got to be kidding me" moments, don't explode, don't lecture, just smile, maybe even chuckle, then move on. Because the man who can find humor in the madness isn't just calm, he's dangerous. Not because he fights harder, but because he chooses his battles so well, most of them never even start. Lesson 8. Respond like the person you want to become. Every reaction you give is either building the man you want to be or breaking him down. That moment when someone says something stupid, when they act out of ego or ignorance, you have a choice. Do you feed the fire or forge your control? Most men give away their power far too easily. Not to leaders, not to kings, but to clowns. One rude driver, one loudmouth co-worker, one relative who knows exactly which button to push. They yank your emotions like a puppet string, and you let them. We've been sold a false image of masculinity. Real men respond instantly, hit back harder, never back down. But here's the truth. The strongest man in the room is the one who doesn't react at all. The one who chooses his response like a strategist. The one whose calm presence shifts the energy in the room without him saying a word. This is the Stoic shift. Stop letting the outside world dictate your internal state. Emotional discipline isn't something you have once and keep forever. It's a muscle. You train it. You test it. You earn it every single day. Every time you take the bait, when you snap, when you explain yourself to someone who doesn't deserve the explanation, you're rehearsing weakness. You're practicing surrender. Flip that. Imagine every time you're provoked, You pause. You watch the moment unfold like you're outside of it. You don't shrink away, but you also don't engage on their level. That's not indifference, that's dominance. It's like stepping out of a storm while everyone else is getting soaked. They're reacting, you're responding. They're shouting, you're thinking. And that difference is what separates a man who survives from a man who leads. This isn't about bottling up your feelings. It's about channeling them with intention. Anger, when directed wisely, can build empires, but uncontrolled, it burns them down. So the next time something small pokes at your nerves, don't flinch, don't defend, don't match their energy. Instead, ask yourself, does this reaction align with the man I'm becoming? And then, act as if that man is already in the room. Because here's the truth every day, life is testing your discipline, not to punish you, but to sharpen you. And the man who passes those tests isn't just respected, he's remembered. Conclusion. You will never completely eliminate anger, but you can train yourself to control your response, turning every irritating moment into a workout for your discipline. Each time you stay calm, you're not just protecting your day, you're reinforcing the man you are becoming. Remember, peace is a weapon, and you decide when to use it. If this message resonates, carry it into your week. Practice, refine, own it. And if you're committed to this journey, drop "I choose calm" in the comments. Let the world know you're building unshakable strength. Like, subscribe, and join me in mastering the art of inner control.